Hello students, last time we discussed about rebels and the Raj, the revolt of 1857, what were the causes and nature of the revolt. Now we should know the pattern of the rebellion. Late in the afternoon of 10th May 1857, the Sipais in the cantonment of Meerut broke out into mutiny. It began in the lines of the native infantry. Later on, it spread very swiftly to the cavalry and then to the whole city. The ordinary peoples of the towns and surrounding villages also joined the Sipais. The Sipais captured the bells of arms where the armored and ammunition were kept and proceeded to attack white people, burnt their bungalows and property. Government buildings, the record office, jail, court, post office, treasury, etc. were destroyed and plundered. The telegraph line to Delhi was cut. As darkness descended, a group of the Sipais marched towards Delhi. The Sipais arrived at the gate of the Red Fort early in the morning on 11th May 1857. They proclaimed Bahadur Shah, the Mughal emperor, as their ruler. When ordinary people began joining the revolt, and targets of attack widened. In the major towns like Lucknow, Kanpur, Bareilly, moneylenders and the rich people also became the objects of the rebel wrath. Peasants not only saw them as oppressors but also as allies of the British. In most places, their houses were looted and destroyed. The mutiny in the Sipahi ranks quickly became a rebellion. In the month of May and June, the British had no answer to the actions of the rebels. Individual Britons tried to save their own lives and lives of their families. British rule, as one British officer noted, collapsed like a house made of cards. The reasons for the similarity in the pattern of the revolt in different places lay partially in its planning and coordination. So this was the pattern of the rebellion. Now we should know there were some rumors and prophecies about the revolt of 1857. Rumors and prophecies played a part in moving people to action. There was a rumor that the new cartridges were greased with fat of cows and pigs, which would pollute the religion of Hindus and Muslims. The rumors about the British trying to destroy the religion of the Indians by mixing the bone dust of cows and pigs into the flour led people to avoid touching the flour. There was fear and suspicion that the British wanted to convert Indians to Christianity. The rumors about the British rule coming to an end on the century of the Battle of Plassey also reinforced the call for a revolt against the masters on 27th June 1857. When Battle of Plassey took place 100 years ago, the British policies to reform Indian society by introducing Western education and social reforms targeted their long cherished customs and practices. The activities of Christian missionaries also created doubt and discomfort. The annexation on the pretext of the doctrine of lefts also made the people suspicious of the British intentions. So, these also played important role in the revolt of 1857. Now we should know the subsidy alliance system. Subsidy alliance was a system introduced by Lord Wellesley in 1798. Those who entered in such alliance with the British had to accept certain terms and conditions from the colonial government. The Britishers would be responsible for the protection of the Indian rulers from external as well as internal threats to their power. In the territory of the Allies, a British armed contingent would be stationed. The Allies would have to provide resources for maintaining this contingent. The ally could enter into agreements with other rulers or engage in warfare only with the permission of the Britishers. So rulers could not fight a war, could not engage in a warfare with other rulers. They could not make agreements with the other rulers without the permission of the Britishers. The ally had to keep the resident, who was the representative of the Governor General and was not under direct British rule. So they have to keep their resident in their courts. So subsidy alliance system was very harassing for the Indian rulers. Their authority was challenged by the colonial governments. At the same time, we can take the example of the Awadh. Awadh was annexed in 1856. Lord Dalhousie described the kingdom of Awadh as a cherry that will drop into our mouths one day. Awadh was formally annexed into British Empire in 1856 by Lord Dalhousie. The conquest happened in stages. The subsidy alliance had been imposed in Awadh in 1801. By the term of this alliance, the Nawab had to disband his military force, allow the British to position their troops within the kingdom of Awadh, and act in accordance with the advice of the British resident, who was attached to the court of the Nawab. Thus the Nawab became dependent on the British. And finally, Wajid Ali Shah was removed from the throne of Awadh. British government told that Wajid Ali Shah was incapable to rule properly in the Awadh territory. So there was misgovernment. So misgovernment was the reason for removing the Wajid Ali Shah from the Nawab of Awadh, and Awadh became part of British territory. So subsidy alliance system and misgovernment system both were against the interest of Indian Rajas and Nawabs. Subsidy alliance, according to subsidy alliance, the British were keen to acquire Awadh as its soil was good for growing indigo and cotton and was ideally located for trade. So subsidy alliance was imposed because they wanted indigo and cotton, and which was good for the British trade. Annexation of Awadh would complete the territorial annexation by British, beginning with that of the Bengal a century earlier from the Battle of Plassey in 1757. It was annexed on the grounds of the maladministration, misgovernments. The British wrongly assumed that the Nawab Wajid Ali Shah was an unpopular ruler. On the contrary, he was widely loved by the people of the Awadh. Displacement of Nawab Wajid Ali Shah. Nawab Wajid Ali Shah was displaced and exiled to Calcutta. He was so admired by his people that his subjects followed him all the way to Kanpur singing songs of laments. There was widespread emotional upheaval at his dethronement. Contemporary writers observed that the life was gone out of the body and the body of this town had been left lifeless. Folk songs mourned that the honorable English came and took the country. So Awadh became territory of the British Empire in 1856.